I never thought my quiet retirement would turn into a full-blown neighborhood showdown. But here we ream, my goats, and this HOA lady who just wouldn't quit. After 25 years in the Marines, dodging bullets in places I'd rather forget, all I wanted was some land to breathe on, you know? So I snatched up this little 4-acre spot on the outskirts of Willow Creek Meadows, an old farmhouse with a weathered barn that whispered stories from the 40s, and enough grass to let my dreams roam, free-raising a few milk goats. Simple as that. It started innocent enough, or so I thought, but damn if that shared fence didn't stir up trouble from day one. I named my goats after old squad, Mate's buddy the big lug, Max with his goofy beard, Fluffy who thinks she's a lapdog, and a couple others like Daisy and Spike. They'd greet me every morning with those goofy bleats, nuzzling my jeans while I milked them, and I'd sit there thinking, this is it, Jack, this is the peace you fought for. But the folks in Willow Creek, with their cookie-cutter houses and lawns greener than envy, they saw my setup as some kind of invasion. And leading the charge? Susan Hargrove, the HOA president, a woman in her mid-50s who carried a clipboard like it was Excalibur and wore pearls that screamed, "I've got power and I know how to use it." The first sign of storm clouds was this fancy letter slid under my gate, all embossed with their HOA seal, complaining about excessive rural odors and visual blight from my barn said it was tanking their property values, like my goats were plotting real estate sabotage. I chuckled at first, figuring it was a mix-up since my land's grandfathered in, predating their suburb by decades. But Susan? Oh, she had deeper motives, turns out. She'd been gunning for a neighborhood expansion, eyeing my acres for some community green space to boost her re-election as HOA queen, and my stubborn holdout was cramping her style. So when I ignored the letter, she showed up one sunny afternoon, heels crunching on my gravel drive like she owned the place. "Mr. Thompson," she says, peering over her sunglasses at the barn like it offended her personally, "we need to discuss harmony. Your animals are disrupting our serene environment." I wipe my hands on my rag, stand tall, and reply, "Susan, harmony's a two-way street. That barn's been here since before your cul-de-sacs were a blueprint. And these goats? They're family, not a nuisance." Her eyes narrow, that fake smile cracking. "Well, perhaps you consider relocating them to the back field? The one that floods every spring?" "Nah, I'm good." She huffs, spins on her heel, and marches off, but I could feel it wasn't the end. She was the type who thrived on control, probably because her own life felt out of whack after some divorce gossip I'd overheard from a neighbor, and now my independence was her new target. Things escalated quick, kid from her side, tossing junk food over the fence, making my goats sick, and when I posted a polite note asking him to stop, I got a rock back with a scribbled, "Move your farm elsewhere." Then emails poured in, fake violations citing HOA rules that didn't apply to me, all laced with that passive-aggressive venom. But Susan crossed the line when she started her midnight raids first, sprinkling some cheap chemical along the fence to neutralize odors, which could have burned my goat's hooves if I hadn't caught it. I installed cameras, and sure enough, 2 a.m. alert. There she is, dumping more crap in the dark. I saved the footage, heart pounding not from fear, but from that old Marine fire igniting. Why couldn't she just live and let live? Was it jealousy of my freedom, or fear that my rustic life exposed how hollow their manicured world was? The breaking point hit one crisp morning. I spot her sneaking into the barn, dressed like some undercover HOA spy in khakis and a vest, snapping photos, muttering about health hazards and unregulated waste. I step out from the shadows, clear my throat loud. "Susan, you're trespassing on private property. What the hell do you think you're doing?" She jumps, phone shaking. "I'm inspecting for the community's sake. Your negligence affects us all." "Negligence? This is my land. My rules get out before I call the cops." But she backs up, trips over a feed bucket, spills grain everywhere. and that's when the goats go nuts. Buddy charges, first not mean, just excited for snack time Max and Fluffy join in, hooves clattering, and Susan? She lets out this blood-curdling scream, bolts for the ladder, and scrambles up to the hayloft like a cat up a tree. "Get these beasts away thee attacking," she shrieks, perched up there red-faced and trembling. I couldn't help, I burst out laughing. Leaning on my pitchfork, tears in my eyes, "They're goats, Susan, not wolves. You barged in and dumped their dinner. What did you expect? A welcome mat?" She calls the sheriff from up there, fumbling her phone, and when Deputy Rumor's old poker buddy shows up, he climbs the ladder, peeks over, and damn near falls off chuckling. "Man, this is unique," he says, helping her down while she mutters about lawsuits and assault by livestock. I show him the footage, and he nods, "Keep that safe, Jack. This one's gold." I uploaded a short clip, Laterno names, just the chaos titled, HOA Boss vs. Goats. Epic fail, and boom, it went viral overnight. Millions laughing at the absurdity. But Susan? Humiliation fueled her fire. She saw it as a direct hit to her authority, her carefully built image crumbling. So she doubled down, more threats. Fake county complaints about zoning. Even cutting my gate latch one night to prove my security was lax. Her motives ran deep. Not just land grab, but personal vendetta now, like my quiet defiance mirrored her own unfulfilled dreams, and she couldn't stand it. That's when I stopped playing defense. Enough was enough. I dug into my old military files, pulled every deed, map, and exemption clause I'd researched when buying the place, bound it all up, and fired off copies to the county, the sheriff, even the local paper. "This harassment ends now," I wrote, attaching the videos for good measure. The county shut down her complaints fast, confirming my land's exempt, but Susan sued anyway. Emotional distress, defamation, the works. In court, my lawyer Lisa laid out cold. Deeds, footage, reports stacking like dominoes against her. The judge peers over his glasses. "Ms. Hargrove, you trespassed repeatedly. This suit's baseless," and dismisses it on the spot, her face crumpling like wet paper as she storms out, board members whispering behind her back. Turns out, her overreach had alienated her own people. Rumors of her manipulating votes, favoring friends and fines, and they voted her out that week. Back home, the air felt lighter, goats grazing peaceful as ever. But the real win? Neighbors started showing up, not with complaints, but curiosity. Old Mr. Ellis with his grandkid, shy at first, then laughing as Fluffy nibbled the boy's shoelace. Families I'd never met, sharing stories of Susan's tyranny over holiday lights or mailbox colors, apologizing for staying silent out of fear. I opened the barn Saturdays for visits, no charge, just carrots and kindness, and it healed something, turned my eyesore into a community spot. Even the new HOA head, Rachel, came by, hat in hand. "We've rewritten the rules. No more overstepping." And we shook on it, her eyes genuine, like she'd learned from the mess. But here's the thing that sticks with me: is it justice? Or just luck that I had the tools to fight back? What if I was some elderly widow without cameras, or know how would Susan have steamrolled right over? Makes you wonder about these HOA empires, built on good intentions, but twisted by folks hungry for control. Anyway, that's my Tailgoats 1, HOA 0. If you've got your own HOA horror story or thoughts on where the line is between community rules and personal freedom, drop in the comments below. Love hearing your takes. And who knows, maybe share this if it rings true, could save someone else's barn someday.